So let's dive into episode 4 of season 1 of Titans. I'm really excited to talk about this episode.
Titled
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Were you trying to do the suspense thing again?
No, a little bit. But Gar brings Rachel home to his family. Quote, a group of misfit medical experiments will come to know as the Doom Patrol, including Robotman, Negative Man, and Elastigirl.
So this is going to be completely spoiler-free. I say that because I almost said a spoiler to myself.
Yep.
I guess it's not too much. They don't call themselves the Doom Patrol in the episode.
You get a
those
tease
words
of
are
it.
never.
You get a tease of it.
Are they? Well, I missed it. I missed it.
I think we could say the tease without getting too bad. Someone says they were doomed until I came along, and I was like,
until they were doomed patrol until I came along.
Doomed. Someone could go on patrol.
So we're gonna keep this spoiler free, and man, it's just crazy to me. Like, we're through the rabbit hole at this point. Live action Doom Patrol on your TV, man. Like, that's I wouldn't have bet money on it. I wouldn't have, like, live action Robotman. Just wow, it's happening. It's the end times.
I don't know which one of them is the strangest. Robotman, Negative Man, or Elastigirl. They're all bizarre to have on screen. I think that my biggest question to you guys about this is, after watching Doom Patrol, are you excited for a Doom Patrol series? Yes or no?
I might be the wrong person to ask because the answer is 1,000% yes.
But that was
why are
the
you the wrong
same
person?
probably before this too. Does that?
No, actually, it's more. It's just because this really weirdly, considering this is the 4th episode of this show, it felt like a backdoor pilot, and so there was some of that pilot wonkiness.
What do you mean it felt like a backdoor pilot? I think it was a backdoor pilot.
Yeah, but it had that feel. It had that pilot feel where it had that pilot wonkiness where we're kind of introducing everything. Everybody's still kind of feeling out, especially since this show has an added layer of complication because you have actors doing. Not the word isn't motion capture; they're the ones in the costumes, and then you have voice actors,
like stand-ins,
and so those.
I didn't feel like they were the ones in the costumes today.
They're not. I mean, and they're not going to be. The guys that do the voice acting are not going to be the ones in the costume, and so you still have to find that synergy between the physical performance and the voice acting, and they haven't quite figured it out. The Chief is a completely different actor in the show.
Good call.
Yeah, I'm excited for Timothy Dalton in the show. So
why was that the case?
Because they were able to get Timothy Dalton for the show, and so
and they just didn't get him
and
in
they
time.
had already
Yeah, and they had already filmed this a while ago.
Yeah.
That
and so
really threw me off.
The voices were the easy ones to replace later. So,
but you can still kind of tell there's still some of the. I think 2 or 3 episodes into the show itself, maybe even since they've already done the pilot. What if this is essentially the pilot? Maybe episode 1 of Doom Patrol, they'll have a little bit better rhythm for it. But I really like, something I really like about this show is it's embracing the weirdness. Like, we've got the nuclear family as the bad guys. Titans.
Okay.
That we've got the nuclear family as the bad guys in episode 2.
Yeah.
We've got Hawk and Dove in their full costume. Episode 4, we're going to do Beast Boy's origin. Fuck it. Here's the Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
What's your answer? Yes or no?
No.
You're not excited.
Well,
for
if
Doom
I have to
Patrol.
go just
between
like yes or no,
Yeah.
no. And I was fine. I was on the fence about it before. And this is the problem I mentioned before, but I'll mention it now. It's that you have 2 characters that can't emote on screen, and like even if they make a sad voice sound, it's like that's not the same because the way we watch movies and stuff, it's because we're gonna be visually seeing some kind of emotion on someone's face. And besides Robotman asking what things taste. Sorry, there's a little bit of that. I'll make sure I'm not as specific, but it's that the parts of this, it's hard to connect with almost half the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So in watching this, you can tell that they added those voices in pretty last minute.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of, it almost sounds like they ad-libbed a little bit and like, we'll throw that in. That's pretty fun. And I'm like, actually, it's not, because it actually makes very little sense and doesn't add anything to anyone's character whatsoever. The person that was so interesting to me that would make me want to watch the show is Elastigirl. I thought
she was amazing.
Because when it comes to like weirdness, yeah, Robotman looks weird, Negative Man, I'm not really sure what's going on exactly, but Elastigirl actually seems the weird terrifying that would make me like interested. Kind of like when you see an ad for American Horror Story and you see like who's Leather, the Gimp guy, like floating around in the red room, and you're like, what does that mean? It's like actually nothing when you watch the show, but it's like in this, her whole deal, super big question. I thought when you hear Elastigirl, what do you think of Incredibles? And I'm like, oh, she must be the same. No.
She semed like she wasn't of this time.
No.
And it was
And I
really
love that.
interesting to watch.
Well, and there's reasons for that, but we don't spoilers.
Yeah.
What I had the biggest issue with was that this was way, way too soon to do anything about Doom Patrol. We are 4 episodes into a brand new show, and we have a entire episode focused on a different show. I'm just starting to maybe possibly get on board with Titans, and you're going to now introduce me to 4 new characters and leave our other characters somewhat in the dust for an episode when I've barely seen them. I don't understand the logic behind this at all. It kind of remind me of what DC's issue with the movies have been, which is rushing to the punchline. We did not build up to a Justice League movie, although I like Justice League more than most people did. We didn't build up to it. We did not build up to Doom Patrol. We just didn't. And so that was like so jarring.
And I think for me, it's refreshing because I think the idea of building up to stuff, I feel like Marvel in particular emphasizes it too much. It's like, no, we can't have Bullseye in season 1. We need to have 2 full seasons of Daredevil before Bullseye shows up. It's like, or sometimes you can just do the thing. You can just go for it. You can just have like, listen,
but I don't even know who these characters are.
Doom Patrol is part of Beast Boy's backstory, so just have them. Like, and so for me, I like that we're just let's just go for it. Let's not mess around. Let's just dive right in and be willing to go. Like, they've traveled across the country at this point. Like, one of the problems with a lot of the Netflix shows, it's like the same 3 sets every episode. Like, in this, at least this show's switching stuff up and they're moving forward. So for me, I was into it.
We did a whole episode about Hawk and Dove, though.
Yeah.
And now we did a whole episode about Doom Patrol.
You're saying that like it's bad things, and
Definitely.
for me, it's great.
Well, here's a way you could have done this in a way, this specific episode, because you could have the Doom Patrol on the show, but a way that could have at least propelled the plot of this show, which isn't Doom Patrol at all. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll come back. Who knows? Like, no one, like, that's not important. This is more just trying to get Beast Boy to get with the rest of the cast. Is if you show what his storyline is with this story, what Rachel, Beast Boy, and how like Rachel and them are talking and whatever, and then you have your Starfire and Dick, and they actually get together about halfway through this episode, and then from there we start moving forward with Rachel's plot. We kind of keep going forward with that.
One thing I do like about this is that it does move forward. Rachel, not to go into spoilers, but I like the progress. I'm finally starting to become interested in Rachel. They progress her in a way that I think is compelling.
I think the actress is getting better.
She's getting better,
which I was really happy to see.
But some of the effects for her specifically are better. But for me, it's that you could have had flashbacks with the Doom Patrol still here, and it'd been like, oh, he comes from like a misfit. Like, this is actually how he could relate with Dick, because he's kind of coming from a circus of freaks a little bit. Like, he's coming from people that like they are all the outcasts, and Dick should be able to interact. And
we could have had Beast Boy team up with it and have him run into his, like, he just runs away, and then maybe the family goes to find him and they show up later. We could have done. I totally get it. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, for me, totally into it.
There you go.
For me, totally into it.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna watch the Doom Patrol show just to see what they do. Yeah. Because when you say Brendan Fraser and Matt Bomer and Timothy Dalton, and I'm blanking on the actress who plays Elastigirl, but actually she was my favorite part.
She did a really good job. I also like.
She's been in like other stuff too. She's popped up places. Her story just seems so immediately compelling. Like, and we're
also in the show, we're going to get Crazy Jane, which adds more characters that aren't behind. I do think there is a level of difficulty with that show. Again, for me, I think it's less about these people not being able to emote and more about finding a way that they can emote by having, the actors in the costume kind of knowing the performer that's going to do the voice, and the voice actors kind of knowing what it's going to look like on camera. And there's a synergy there that I think will help, that hopefully once we get into the show, they kind of find that rhythm.
Her name is April Bowley.
Bowlby plays Elastigirl. Does a really good job on this. Also very pretty.
I think a way that like Robotman and Negative Man usually get around it in like comics is that you're able to animate the eyes, kind of like how Spider-Man MCU. What does he have now? He has like the lenses that close and open. Yeah. We found a reason to explain that. So now that when he's in the suit, he can think, he can squint, or if he's surprised, he can open his eyes. For them, it's nothing. It's flat. There might be, we'll say this, when you watch Negative Man, there might be a part of his costume that moves.
I think he has a little mouth hole that
it looks like a little beak.
I didn't know it was going to happen based on the pictures, based on the still images. It doesn't look like, unless the actor needs that to breathe, you can just take that out.
You can nix it.
Yeah, but I think they'll find the rhythm. And again, as a fan, it's just cool to see these characters on screen. It's cool that we finally are, again, no spoilers, our team of characters are coming together, And kind of, I don't know about you guys. After this, it's like, I don't know. I knew this was coming. This had been reported for a while. I don't know where the rest of this season's going to go.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have legitimately no idea. And with the nuclear family, I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But it's interesting because you just said, as a fan, and in the chat from Danny M, who says, I don't feel like a build-up was necessary, but I can see why mainstream audiences would need it. I think I would consider myself a pretty big fan, not a mainstream audience person. And I do think people probably from mainstream would need it more because they literally don't know who these characters are. Like, they're meeting brand new characters, and at least I have enough to fill in. And it has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the fact that I have not fallen in love with the show yet. Yeah. And now you're pitching me another show, and I like that show better. I liked the thought of Doom Patrol better. So
you asked us that question. You're excited
for
cool.
sure.
Also, I've got to be honest with you. So we know we're 3 episodes in. We know they curse on this show. Sounded way more natural coming from the Doom Patrol cast. Yeah, it sounded like, oh yeah, these are characters that cuss. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And they deserve it.
Yeah,
they should be allowed to.
Yeah, they really are. They've been, in the comics they kind of talk about like, did the chief help them by saving them? And then watching the show, you're like, yeah, I kind of don't think he did. Yeah. I kind of think they might have been better off if the chief never found him.
Mm-hmm. But maybe not. We don't know. Spoiler free.
We wouldn't have a show without it.
I will say 50% of the cursing from the Doom Patrol made sense. There was one where it was like, there's something happening in the background, and all you hear is voiceover like, oh, fuck. What's this? And I'm like, oh my God, this person recorded this audio in basically a vacuum. They don't know what's happening in this scene. Yeah. It felt like, and that kind of happened a couple times. 50% of it makes sense. I think it's just going to always be weird for me, so I'm just going to get over it. I'm going to get over when it makes me feel uncomfortable because it's just me.
I think so many thoughts for when we can finally talk spoilers about this.
Yeah. Oh, this is a big episode too. So
yeah, huge.
Yeah. So what would we rate this episode?
Lower for me, just because there's a lot of problems that I think the Doom Patrol show's going to answer before Titans answers. And you bring up a good point. Where in the hell do they go from here? Like, this is episode 4, and there's 13.
There's 10.
There's 10. Oh no, that's even less.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite one so far.
I don't know where they go.
Because I want a Doom Patrol show, so I think I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it a.
Keeps going up.
I'd give it a 7.5. I'm tired of superhero shows like waiting around for stuff. So I'm glad that we're going in. I'm glad this is a show that embraces the weird. And I just cool seeing these characters on live action.
I'd give it a 6 as well, because I want to get back to the Titans because I'm starting to like them.
Yeah.
And the Doom Patrol can be cool. It's that I wish we just kind of stayed more with the Titans.
Also, I gotta say, this is the most time we've gotten to spend with Beast Boy. Big fan.
Big fan too.
Big fan of Beast Boy.
As long as he doesn't make the moves on Rachel.
As long as he doesn't make the moves on Rachel, big fan.
Same.
Yeah, because that's their thing in the comics, right?
It can be, and it was also a thing in the Teen Titans cartoon.
If they don't go that way, kill them both.
Yeah, we also got some more time with Robin and Starfire, and I like their dynamic so far.
Hey, actually, what was really interesting is I was getting some flirty vibes there.
Yes, which as a fan, that's what we want.
Yeah, I was getting some flirty vibes there, but I thought that was pretty soon after we got the flirty vibes last week or Hawk and Dove episode.
No.
It was pretty flirty for us to have just seen flirty.
Dick gets around. What can he say?
Round, get around. Dick gets around.
So we'd like to know either in the chat here or in the comments down below,
the Discord,
what you guys thought of this episode. When you see it, please check it out. Let us know what you think. Whether you're excited about the Doom Patrol series. For the people that are watching this later, you could have watched this live on patreon.com/onlystupidanswers. We record on Thursdays. First half of the show is on twitch.tv/playnoggin. The second half of the show is behind patreon.com/onlystupidanswers.
5 p.m.
And check out more videos on our YouTube channel. Sam will probably put up stuff around here that you can click on. You can go to
maybe it's around here. You
never know. So you can go to onlystupidanswers.com for more. You can find me at DJ Talks Trash.
Sam Bashur. Everywhere that matters.
At Roxy Stryer.
Everywhere that matters.
Oh,
usually?
And some places that don't.
Yeah. Who's to say?
I like that pitch. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the full edited version of these. DJ does good work with that, so you better tell him, damn it. Better tell him.
Again, that's patreon.com/onlystupidanswers if you want that. If you want the full show, come join our Patreon because we have a nice little community over there. It's a lot of fun. Little kisses.
You know what? They're called the
little
kisses.
That's how
That's a big wet grandma kiss right on your cheek, or a little too close to your lips. You're like,
Yeah.
Grandma, stop it.